We are recording.
Okay, cool. So, what are you guys seeing right now? Are you seeing?
We're seeing the presentation, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we can get started. If anyone joins a bit late, then it's okay. We are here today with Nacho. So first of all, Nacho, thanks a lot for being here. These few past office hours, I mean, there is some people here that are TwitBox customers, others I guess you are not. What we are doing here is just a few sessions on basically focusing on how to do Twitter better or more efficiently. We have done a few around DMs, how to reply, how to create content, etc. But today we wanted to bring a guest to make it, a bit different, and we wanted to make it open too, so more people could join. And Nacho was here in one of the first sessions we ever did. And I mean, I'm following him on Twitter. He's doing an awesome job. He's growing like crazy lately. So I figured it would be like a great opportunity to talk to him and just try to figure out how he does it and how is he doing everything. So basically, this is what we are going to do today. This is the idea, talk to him and so on. So first of all, for the people who don't know us, I'm Alex. Danny is my co-host and also co-maker of TweetBox. You heard the dog here, so. But yeah, we made TweetBox, which is basically like a Notion dashboard where you can put together all of your Twitter, like everything. So you can create content, you can improve your profile and so on. So I'm not gonna dive deep into what TweetBox is because we don't want to make this like an advertisement of TweetBox. It's just like the tool that brought us all together, that brought Danny and me together, and also Nacho, who is here now. So basically, this is me. I'm Alex. I'm from Spain. Danny is also from Spain. We are both creators on the internet, and this is how we met. And we built TweetBox, which is the tool that we are here promoting, so to say. And having that said, I'm just gonna let Nacho introduce himself if he wants. You can just tell us, Nacho. I mean, I just screenshotted your profile
Yeah.
to make it easier for everyone to understand who you are. But yeah, like who are you? Like more or less what you do. I mean, everything is there. But if you want to tell us.
Yeah. So yeah, my name is Nacho Iacovino. I was born in Argentina. My last name is Italian because I had some, my great grandparents were Italian. I moved to Barcelona, to Spain, when I was 7 years old, and I've been living here ever since in Barcelona. Like a little bit about my tech journey. Like I started doing like some stuff like when I was maybe 9 years old. Like I was playing Hotel, and I was just like we were doing with my cousin like fan pages of Hotel and just prices of the furniture there, and just there's some small stuff there. Then when I was like 14, I created a Tumblr. There was like I was doing HTML, but I didn't even know that I was doing HTML because I was just okay. I just want to modify how my Tumblr looks, right? And I did like for a couple of years, and then I started doing WordPress. But there was never really a programming thing, so I was just doing stuff, but never really in a serious way. I mean, I made my first dollar on the internet there when I was 14 with Tumblr. But and then with WordPress, I was doing viral posts, and yeah, I was earning money, but it was not fully as a developer. It was like, okay, I built this page, I'm just sharing articles, stuff like that. I'm earning money, but it's just like it doesn't come directly from development, right? I was doing some other stuff from 18 to 23, so different stuff. Like I work as a waiter, I work as a room service waiter, I work in tourism. And then I started to become an English teacher. I got my English teacher certificate from Cambridge, and then I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this because I really like the teaching part, and I really like the English language. But the thing about it is like I didn't like how everything was set up and what it meant to be an English teacher, in the sense of, okay, you need to prepare your classes for an hour unpaid, and then you do that class for an hour, and then you do one class, and then you have to travel an hour to another academy or to a private, to a house, so someone to give them the class, and it's very hectic and very chaotic. So just a couple of months after I finished I got my certificate, I got offered to do a programming course. And before that, I did some HTML, CSS, and some JavaScript, but never in a serious way, right? So I got offered just, do you want to do a free course on programming? I was like, yeah, free, let's go, let's do it. And it was very fun because I had to make a choice between doing that or working as a salesman in a beer company, because my father worked there, and he was like, do you want to come and do this and do this? And I was like, yeah, I know I'm gonna be decently good because I did sales before and tourism, and I was good at sales. So it's like, okay, I can do something that I know I'm gonna be good, but I'm not passionate about, or I can just pursue this programming course that I think it's something I'm gonna be good at, because I was always good with computers, and I was like, I'm just gonna take the risk because I could, and I always say this, but that's something that not everyone can do. Just saying, hey, instead of working, I'm gonna just study and pay for 6 months. But I could do it because I was living with my parents. I didn't have expenses. So I decided to do that. And then that was just like it's a 4-month course in which it was every day. The thing is, you can compare it a little bit to a boot camp, but it was not really a boot camp because it was open to everyone. So usually boot camps has like a little test or something to join, but this was open to everyone. So the thing is that, okay, I was very good. I think I got like a 9.7 out of 10, like average score, which is like, okay, I guess I'm decently good. And then the good thing is, like, it was very modern. So we did React there, we did some Android, we did some Unity with C#. But from there, when I finished, I was like, okay, what did I like the most? It's like, okay, React was the thing that I thought was more interesting. I started looking at job offers in Barcelona. I was like, okay, React is the trend, and then I just dived deep into learning React. So it was a matter of, okay, just spending 4-6 hours a day just doing Udemy courses and just learning a lot and building projects and stuff like that. And that's how I basically learned to program. And I can go from here. Let's continue, and then I explain my whole job journey.
Yes, because we will later see how you got like your current job on Twitter, which is super interesting, and how you were showcasing your skills live on Twitter. And those are actually, when I was looking at your stats, like one of your most seen tweets, the tweet that has more impression is one where you recreate the Netflix sign up page, and we will see that later. But it's super interesting how you used Twitter just for that, to showcase your skills, and then it lead you to growth and to get the job, which is awesome. So super cool. Having that said, while I was scuba diving through your tweets, I found this one, and I thought it was super fun just to talk about it before we get into Twitter, because for me, it was super curious that in 2010, which is like previous social media era or just starting, you were like on Tumblr, you created a page, and it was like the second biggest page in Spain at the time. So I mean, that's huge, especially like at the time. So I will just, like you can tell us a bit about that experience, and what do you think you learned from that experience that maybe you are applying now, if anything, because maybe you are not. So I don't know.
So this is what I mentioned before about when I was 14. This is what I created. So I was born in 95. So that I created when I was 14. That's almost being 15, and I had it for like a year and a half. And this was very, hey, and this is similar to what happened with Twitter. It's like, okay, I'm following some Tumblrs. Let me do my own, right? And then just share what I think is funny, what I think it's, and I started just getting a lot of followers, and I didn't know how to really get advantage of it, and I was like, okay, let me just put a banner here and just say, hey, this is 10 euros per month. And then some other Tumblr came and said, okay, let me just pay, or let this small ads for 2 euros per month, right? So it was like a first thing. Then I discovered some ad agency is like earning like 100 euros per month, which, but for being 14, well, 15, it was great for me. But the thing I learned here was like consistency. Because I was putting. I mean, and with Tumblr it's different with Twitter, right? Because you have reblogs, which is like retweeting, but it's something like, okay, people just want to know your humor. I was like, okay, I was just browsing Tumblr. And it's like, oh, I think this is funny from a page. Let me just reblog. And I was just doing like 20 reblogs per day, like always 20. So and they will go throughout the day. So from 12 p.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. You will get one post, like 20 posts. So the thing was people could visit the page throughout the day and they will get new posts. And then also I will add some other stuff that I thought it was funny during the day. So it was like more or less like 25 new posts per day. So I had it for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, and the Tumblr has 14,000 posts. And yeah, some are originals, but 95% are just reblogs, which is like.
And was any of that part was, I mean, I don't know if automation existed back then on Tumblr, but was any of that automated, or were you doing it like manually every day, reposting and reblogging and so on?
No, you could add to queue.
Okay.
So and then put the hours. So it's like I put between 12 and 10 p.m. Put 20 posts. So they will auto schedule, and I will add to the queue, and I will usually have like, I don't know, 50, 70 posts on the queue. So I would just add when I had time. Yeah. I think that was good. And yeah, I mean, I can say the name. The channel was called Pelando Bananas, which is like peeling peeling bananas, which doesn't make any sense as a name. But like my girlfriend at the time was like, I'm creating this. What should I call it? That's the first thing that she said was that, and I was like, oh, this is fun. And it doesn't make any sense, but it was a funny name.
That's cool.
So yeah, at the end it got like, I was getting like 6,000 visits per day, so it was pretty big.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that much how to get advantage of it, and I was earning very little money, like 100, 300 euros per month, something like that. And what I said here in the streets, like I abandoned it and I let it die. But life, what I mean by life happened was I started doing. And this is like a big, crazy, long story that maybe I should explain on Twitter one day. But I started doing Facebook pages. So if you remember, like on Facebook when there was like the like pages, not the like pages, the being a fan before the likes.
Yeah.
So that's when there was a boom, like, and people just used to go to Facebook and be fan of pages, right? And you will go to your profile. It's like this person has become a fan of 50 pages, and then you go through them, and it's like, oh, I like this. I'm a fan, right? So I was 15, 16, and I was like, okay, let me just create my own. And I remember one night seeing a page that was in English. I was like, okay, let me just create the same page but in Spanish. And this page was called you open a pack of gum and suddenly everyone is your best friend. I was like, okay, let me just create the same page but just in Spanish, right? So I created that, and it got like 200,000 likes in 3 days.
Wow.
Or something like that, something crazy like that. And in a month it got like 400,000, something like that. And in that moment, I started getting offers to buy me the page, right? So people wanted to buy the page, and at the end, I sold it for 400 euros. And I was like, yeah, this is great, because I'm 15 and I created this.
Yeah, of course.
Because I was having fun, but I just sell it for 400 euros. But then I had like an epiphany. It's like, okay, why is this person wanted to buy it? After selling it, I was like, okay. First thing I did, I bought a longboard because I was 15. I wanted a longboard. Okay, 200 euros for the longboard, and then the rest of the 200 euros. I was like, why does this person wanted to buy this page? What are they doing right now with this page? And I said, oh, they are sharing articles, sharing this and that, right? So I got those 200 euros, and I bought 2 pages. like one with 100K and one with 150K, something like that. And then I created a WordPress, and that's when I started sharing articles on WordPress. And then I started sharing some ads directly on Facebook. And that was like, just like, okay, this is like an ad that pays me 50 cents for every person that registers. Okay, let me share it on Facebook, and everyone and people that come, I'm gonna get 50 cents for every sign up, right? So what happened there is like I was earning like €1,000 just by that, because I started making money and buying more pages.
Yeah, reinvesting everything.
Yeah, I was reinvesting. I was earning like €1,000 being 15, and then and this took me like 20-30 minutes per day. And then my Tumblr took me like hours. So I just lost interest in the Tumblr. It's like, okay, I'm earning a lot of money just doing nothing. And then here it's like, okay, I'm putting a lot of effort, and I'm just I'm not earning that much. So I got lazy, basically.
I mean, you were 15 and you were doing thousands per month.
Yeah.
So I would say you weren't that bad, you know.
Yeah, no, I think my best one was like 3,000 like at 16, which is like super crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But yeah, and then Facebook got mad at me because I was spamming, and they banned all my pages. And then I was like, oh, I should have just keep with the Tumblr. I also did a little bit of YouTube back in 2012, and I used to get like 3,000-4,000 views per video because I was getting a lot of traffic from my Tumblr. But I also just abandoned it, which is also super annoying to me, like because I was very, very, very at the start. But yeah, and then I did YouTube again in 2016 for a year or something, less than a year, and I got 3,000, almost 4,000 subscribers, and I also quit again. So yeah.
Yeah, quite a journey.
That's another story. I have a lot of stories. Yeah.
No, it's super interesting because I mean, it led us, like you did Facebook, you did Tumblr, you did YouTube, and it kind of led us now to why. I mean, when did you start with Twitter? And I mean, I know that you started working hard on Twitter the last 5 months. That's when you had the growth. But did you have it before? What were you doing on Twitter, like besides being?
So so when I did YouTube in 2016, 2017, I got 4,000 subscribers on YouTube. I also got 1,500 followers on Twitter.
Nice.
Just because I was sharing my videos, I was talking with my community from YouTube, and I used to get like between 500, 1,500 hits per video, something like that, some with more. And then I just stopped doing it, and then I stopped doing YouTube for a while, and then I came back. I started doing Fortnite videos for like 6 months, and I got like some videos with 40,000 views, something like that. I got monetization enabled on YouTube, which is fucking hard, but sorry for cursing. But yeah, and I got monetization, and I also grew my YouTube a little bit more. I also grew my Twitter account a little bit more, something like that. But then I just stopped doing it because that's when I started working as a waiter, and I couldn't do both.
Yeah.
And I wasn't earning money with YouTube, and I was like, okay. And also that was also annoying too. But yeah, so I have a lot of opportunities, stuff that I was doing that I just stopped doing. But yeah, everything is part of the journey, I guess.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, then I was using Twitter very casually. I wasn't following people. I was just, hey, I have a new video, or hey, what do you want to see in the next video? And just people answering. And just talking with people there, but it wasn't something super like I was using Twitter for real. It was just like just sharing what else I was doing on YouTube or on other platforms, right? So when I start like on quarantine, more or less, I was just on Twitter. I was like, oh, let me just, I don't know how it began, but I was like, I was programming a lot. I was doing a lot of code. On January of 2020. That's when I say, hey, I'm going. This is 2021. Just so
yeah, I know, but
in January 2020, I was like, this. I think I feel ready for a job. So I built my portfolio and I started applying. And then on March, I got like a job offer, and they're like, oh, let's start. Okay, now we're on a pandemic. You cannot leave your house. So I ended up starting the job on April. It was for a startup. I worked there for like 3 months. It was a bad experience, but it was a first experience, so it was decent. And then from there, a couple of weeks later, I started another startup, which I was for like 5 months. And through all that time, I was like on Twitter, and I was just learning on Twitter because I was started following accounts. It's like, there was a lot of accounts I was following, like Oliver Jumpers. I remember a lot because he was sharing a lot of JavaScript tips, like Simon Hoiberg. I don't know. And there's Santiago, like SVPino, like a lot of people, Anchor Chagging. So yeah, a lot of people I was following, I was learning from them. I was like, yo, this is great because I'm just learning for free. I'm just following people and I'm just becoming a better developer because now I know, I remember Oliver sharing optional chaining. I was like, oh, this is crazy. I didn't know about this and now I'm going to use it everywhere because I didn't know about it before, right? And that was super interesting. And then when I stopped working on my last job back in December, I was like, okay, I'm just following people. Why not just start posting myself? I remember I bought the freelance bundle from Kyle Sprinslow.
Yeah, I know.
And I talked with him and I said, hey, I might start on Twitter. It's like, hey, yeah, do it right. I was like, okay, yeah, now I have to do it. So yeah, and one thing that I forgot to tell you, like I started on Twitter with a fake name.
Oh, really?
And on December, because I used to have a fake name on YouTube when I was doing YouTube videos in Spanish and stuff like that. I was called Drew Fox. And then when I was on Twitter, I was like, okay, I don't want to use the same name because I don't interested in that anymore. But I'm just gonna maintain the Drew part. I'm just gonna call myself Drew Pike. So I started as Drew Pike. I was like, yeah, I don't know. It felt like my real name, like Nacho Iacovino, is like very, I don't know, hard for English speakers, and I was used to being someone else on the internet or something. So yeah, I put a fake name. And then, yeah, as I said, I had like 1,500 followers, something like that, but they were completely unrelated people that didn't care a thing about web development, right? And every time I posted something, I would lose followers because people say, what is this guy saying, right? So I was just losing followers and when I started, right? For the first week or first couple of weeks. But then what I did was just, okay, let me just start posting every day. So I posted a little bit for a couple of days I didn't, and then I was like, okay, let me just post every day. And
I wanted to ask you, like, did you have what profile picture did you have when you had like the fake name? Because I understand it wasn't your face. It was like
it was the same picture with a white background.
Yeah,
but it was the same
that's
picture.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, I didn't care about my face. I just like, I don't know, just my name.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started just sharing tips, sharing stuff, and I started getting follows from people I admire, like Simon Hoiberg, like Anchor, and Oliver Jumper. So I started just engaging with people. It's like, oh, these people I've been following for 6-8 months, and now they're following me back because they think. And I was like, okay, I have been posting for like a week, and it was just very sad and it was super crazy.
But they follow you because I understand because you were also engaging with them.
Yeah, I was engaging.
You were like on their comments and so on, so they recognize you as someone like worth following.
For Simon was I created a thread, my first thread, and I sent it to him. It's like, hey Simon, what do you think about this? And he was like, oh, I love it. I love the thumbnail, and he followed me. It's like, oh, this is great. So I guess he really liked it, right? And also that gave me a lot of motivation. It's like, oh, I did something good. Like, let me just keep doing it, right? And at the start, I was like very lost in the sense of, okay, I have like 50 real dev followers. I didn't even know how many. It's like I was like, okay, I have 50 new more followers, but actually they're more like 100 because I also lose 50 of the ones that I had before. So my growth wasn't real in the numbers, right? So yeah, let's go to this tweet.
I was going to say, let's go. Like, this is, I mean, was January like your first real month on, let's say, like with your real name and on dev Twitter, so to say?
Okay. So on December, I gained like 400 followers, which is my first month on Twitter on December. And then on January was on the 1st of January. That's the day I changed my name. I didn't put my real name. And yeah,
so new year, new Twitter profile, right?
Yeah. So on the January was my first full month. And yeah, so I think I got like 500 new followers on January.
Yeah, I can see. I mean, now the screenshot is quite shitty, so we can't really see the numbers, but yes, it looks like something like that, like yeah, around that. So
yeah,
yeah.
No, on December I got 900, which was crazy because that was in like 2 weeks, and it was my first month. And then on January was like, okay, but it was a downturn. I was like, okay, now I have a full month, and I just got 500. So I was like, and I didn't, I don't know, I was just sharing stuff. But then on February I got 3,000. So it was a really big difference.
Let's see why, because it's super interesting for me, and for me, I think it was super smart on your side, like how you got those followers. So basically, here we are seeing 2 tweets. As you can see, the numbers, lots of likes, a lot of retweets on each one, and it's basically Nacho showcasing his Tailwind skills, basically recreating Netflix, the Netflix sign up page, and the Instagram sign up page. So I mean, I understand this is what got you like a lot of attention, like on the dev Twitter thing. And
so what happened here was I
was
using Tailwind for a couple of months, and I was really liking it, but I thought that the onboarding experience of Tailwind wasn't very good. So that I thought, hey, I want to do something about it. I want to create a course on Tailwind, because I think I can teach it. And this is one mistake I did. And this was something I wanted to do, something very big. And trying to do something very big also makes it harder. So that I announced the course back in February, and I haven't released it yet. I don't know when it will be released, but because this is the problem, I want to do something very, very big. But when I started sharing this, it was just to create audience that are interested in Tailwind to follow me. So when I announced the course, I will already have some followers interested in the technology, right? So that was my motivation. Just like, okay, I want to get Tailwind interested followers, so I'm just gonna start sharing Tailwind related stuff.
Yeah, so create content about what I want followers on, and I get that kind of followers. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, but and it's super obvious, but sometimes it's not so much.
Yeah. So yeah, and the Instagram was the first one I did, like as a clone. I was doing like some components a couple of days before that. I was like getting 30, 50 likes for the tweets. I like, okay, I don't know, it just occurred to me like, okay, let me do a clone. I built this like in an hour, and then the Netflix one was also an hour, and that one I said. But also one mistake, or I don't know if a mistake, but it's like I'm very a perfectionist on them, so they are very kind of pixel perfect, especially the Netflix one. I think there's a pixel that's off, but other than that, it's kind of pixel perfect. But then I wanted to do a couple more, and I couldn't get them perfect, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna post them, because I just put the bar too high for myself. It's like people, if I post now, people are gonna expect to be pixel perfect, and now if I do it wrong, it's like so I put the bar too high for myself, so I didn't post more. I have like 5, I think.
Yeah, but like it's funny because sometimes, I mean, it happens to me too. Like sometimes we think too much about the content, and in your case, probably you could have gotten another viral tweet if you have posted, even if it wasn't perfect, because I don't think anybody besides you is paying attention if the pixel is perfect.
I mean, I had people on the Netflix one point out that pixel. I realized later.
Really?
And I can say it's like on the Remember Me, one is censored horizontal, like vertically, and one is not. But yeah, it's very minor. But yeah, like people are just go and see that.
Also, like in the middle of all of this happened. So I mean, this is like a huge account. It has like 300K followers or even more. So I don't know how much growth did this drive to you, but at the same time, it's like getting recognized by a super huge account in the space. And so that's super cool.
This is a tweet that flopped, and that's the crazy thing. I created this tweet, and it had like 20 likes or 30 likes, and I put like a lot of effort into it. Like I created the whole app, I did the screenshots, I did all the explanations. I was like, oh, this didn't work very well. But on that, and on that tweet, I didn't even tag VS Code, which another tweets I have, like I put like a favorite VS Code extensions or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think I didn't even tag VS Code on this tweet, and then suddenly I see that they retweeted me, so I was like, wow. So I got a, and then the tweet got a lot more. Their tweet got like 300 likes. My tweet went from like 30 to 300 too, something like that. And then that brought me a lot of followers. And then next day I posted a screenshot of this tweet saying, I'm freaking out, like I'm fun. Yeah, it's like, this is very cool, right? And this, I got a lot of people just congratulating me because that had happened. But that also brought like a lot of followers, just that tweet celebrating their retweet. So just like, it was like a snowball effect.
Yeah. So do you have any idea how this, because you told me that you didn't tag them, so how did this tweet get to them? Do you have any idea, or is it just like...
I don't know. And what you asked before, I think maybe between everything I got like 500 followers or more from the whole interaction. And also because I said that on my Twitter, I said I'm gonna hang this on my wall when I
yeah.
And they DM me and they say, hey, we want to send you VS Code stickers, so you can put them on your wall too.
That's super cool.
I don't know where I have them. I don't know where because I moved. But yes, I have them. Then I also posted that a month later. Hey, I received my VS Code stickers. Thank you for sending them, and that was also cool, right?
Super cool. Yeah. Here is just like 2 more tweets where you are like celebrating each milestone, and if like you can see the dates. 14 February, 5,000 followers. 22 February, 6,000 followers. So that's like a lot of followers in no time. And this is thanks to the Netflix tweet, the Instagram, this. So
you see the difference. Like first 15 days, 300 followers. Second 15 days, almost 2,500. It was a big explosion.
That's the thing. So it went like poof. But one of the secrets that we are gonna dive into it later, because I have it on another tweet of yours, is that you have been posting consistently like every day. I mean, on one of the tweets later, you have it there, but it's like I have been posting for at least 100 days consistently, always value, always engaging with others. So I mean, growth happens and viral moment happens, but at the same time, it only happens to people who show up every day, like you are doing it. So I mean,
and you never know. Like for example, like that first app in React, I thought it flopped, and I thought it flopped, and then 2 days later. After the post was, I got a retweet from VS Code and it went crazy, right? And then I was posting Tailwind's related stuff, I created components, and then on the 4th, 5th, 5th day, I created the clone, and that's when that blew up. And I want to, you have that tweet about the technologies, and I want to comment on that too, because that's also has a funny story.
I don't know if I have it there exactly, but I can.
Yeah, so I share, and I can explain it. So I share a tweet about all the technologies I know, right, on the order I learned them. And that tweet, I shared it first on December when I had like very few followers. And that got like 10 likes. And I was like, okay, let me just post this again because I think it's a decent tweet. And that's the tweet.
Yeah, that's the one. I mean, I knew I had it here somewhere. So this is the tweet. I mean, it's too big. It doesn't even fit on my screen.
Yeah. And that's also what I think it's more because people are seeing it. They cannot scroll through it without looking at it.
They are forced to see it.
Yeah, but this was crazy because I shared the same tweet except Next.js and Tailwind on December, and it got 10 likes. And then I shared the same tweet on April, and it got 1,300.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, that's another tweet. It's
that's another one.
Yeah, that's it. Like the journey I will recommend to people.
Got it.
But yeah, so coding programming list works because I think people are forced to see them, and every time I see something like that, they get a lot of engagement and a lot of likes.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, And now, I mean, now I understand that obviously you kept creating content, but followers I understand are coming way easier because they see that you have more followers. So the more followers you have, the more people you attract.
I feel like this last month I haven't been putting a lot of super thought out content, right? Like I haven't done some lengthy threads or something because I started a new job, and we'll talk about this, but I haven't had that much time. But I've been posting like every day at least one tweet, right? But I haven't just put like super elaborated content. But still, I got almost 3,000 followers this month.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like February was the crazy that crazy month. I got a lot of followers because I put a lot of work in, and this month I didn't put that work in, but I still got the 3,000 followers. So it's like, yeah, so it's like a snowball effect, and I think I attribute part of that to a new Twitter feature, and I talk about this, but Twitter implemented a new feature. Like before, when you follow an account, it gives you account suggestions, and you could follow it, and they give you like 3 or 4. But now they give you one button, which is like accounts that work well with this specific account.
Yeah.
And then you can follow all. And then sometimes it's like 20 accounts. And I've been noticing that I'm getting a lot more followers because of this since the moment that they released this, but also a lot more unfollows. So sometimes I refresh and like, okay, I have 5 less followers, but they just went back again, go up again. And so I have a lot of more like, because people I'm getting followers that they don't even know who I am, because I just click a follow all button, and then maybe they don't like me, and it's like, okay, now I'm following this guy, right? So yeah, I've been noticing that, but it's more net gain than loss. So I've been noticing I'm getting more followers, and I think it's because of that. But that's just, it's super cool. Just a theory.
No, but it makes a lot of sense, because at the end, like, people just click follow and then they see your tweet and it's not exactly like the type of content they want to consume. So it makes sense that they just don't follow you after that.
I mean, and the things, maybe there are some people that thought, because I got this a lot, I thought I follow you because I see you all the time, and that people, if they click follow once, they're gonna follow me 100%, because if they're seeing my tweets all the time, I'm gonna appear there, and then they're just gonna follow me, and then they'll be okay with that because they already thought they were following me, right? So that works.
Yeah, that's cool. So yeah, I mean, this post is the last on the right is from the 5th of May. So yesterday. So yesterday you got to 12K. Yeah. So congrats on that. Super cool. So I saw that you had like your goal is to get to 25K by the end of the year. Is that possible?
Yeah,
I think I read it somewhere.
I posted New Year resolutions on December when I had 2,500 followers, and I said I want to get 20K by the end of the year as a super crazy unreachable goal.
Yeah, like shoot for the moon, and then
because it's like, okay, I'm gonna shoot for 20. If I get 10, I'm happy, right? So that was my mindset. But I'm just gonna say 20. And now I have 12, and I think 20 is like doable. So it's like, okay, let me just try to 25 right now. But yeah, it was super crazy because I didn't expect it. So and yeah, I mean, if I end the year with 60K, it's okay. That's great. It's unlikely, but you never know. But yeah, so it's like, okay, you always want more, right? Because that's life. But yeah, now in December I said 20 as a crazy goal. Now I say 25 as a realistic goal.
Reasonable goal. Yeah. Do you feel like once you cross, because this is what I feel, because I'm seeing it from other people, like once you cross like the 10K barrier, it's like way easier to keep growing, because I've seen a few accounts that I follow that when I check their profile, they had 10K, then I check 3 days later, they have 13K, and then 3 days later, they have 15K, you know? And
maybe the K helps, and then it just gives you...
I think it really helps. The K, I mean, it looks cooler, and it really helps, I think.
Yeah, it could be. One thing that I noticed, if you go ahead, you have the looking for a job tweet.
Yeah. So here it is. Yeah.
So yeah, introduce it.
Yeah. So basically, this was super cool because I have access to Nacho's ilo.so, if you know the app, is the analytics app, and I can see like his impression and his tweets. And this on the left is his most the tweet that has most impressions. So it's around 320K impressions at the moment, and it's the tweet that he was looking for a job. So can you imagine like a better CV than that? Like just putting a tweet. I mean, you have your content that works as a CV, but people even like, I think people like to help each other on Twitter. So it's like people retweeting, probably people DMing you like, hey, I know this guy or I know this other job. So can you tell us a bit of the experience? Because obviously you got a job, but here you also said that you got 12 interviews out of a tweet. So for me, that's mind blowing. You know,
Yeah,
it's
like, I got more offers to interview, and I rejected them because I was just like, But yeah, for me, I didn't even know if I wanted a job. Which is the craziest thing, because I was doing some freelance. I was like, okay, with the salaries from Spain, it's not that hard to earn the same amount freelance.
Yeah, true.
Right. So I was like, maybe I just go the freelancing way, do my own thing, do my tailwind course, do other stuff, do some freelancing, and just earn this 30K that I was getting at my last job or 2 years ago, and I'm just at the same amount, just doing my own thing, right? But at the same time, I saw I don't remember her name now, but one person from Twitter. I don't remember her name, but yeah, she posted a video CV, and it was super good. And I was like, and she got a job because of that. And I was like, okay, I want to do that. And then I was like, I was procrastinating that, just doing the video. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna post a normal tweet. If it doesn't work, I'll do the video later. So yeah, I was like, okay, let me just post this. I'm gonna say what I know. I'm gonna say what I look for. And then I'm gonna do something I never do. It's like ask for retweets, which I never usually do. Maybe in one thread or something, but not really.
Yeah.
And there are some things that I will do different if I want to recommend someone doing this, which is first post it on a Monday. I think that's because I posted on a Wednesday and I got interviews for Thursday and Friday, and then for next week, and I think it would have worked better doing it on Monday.
Yeah.
Then I said I was looking for a front end, especially in React, but I opened to different opportunities because I didn't know what I was gonna get into. But at the end, I was like, I just want React because that's what I like. So I was starting getting offers about, hey, do you want to work with you? It's like, no, and then I passed, right? So I got more offers. I was just rejecting. And then I was like, I'm looking remote, but I'm open. And so I started getting offers from Berlin, one in Granada in Spain. And I was like, I'm not interested either because I'm getting other offers remote that I just prefer. And I moved to this new place. I'm right now, like 2 months ago. I was like, if I have to move again, I don't really want to. I just move on my life. And so I was living with my parents, and now I live by myself. 2 months ago. So I just didn't want to move again, right? So that's some stuff that I posted like to be more open because I didn't know what I was gonna get. Mm-hmm. But at the end I was like, I was interviewing for React and remote, and I didn't want to go outside of that.
So it's super cool. Like, how did the reach out happen? I understand it was all through DMs, but who was reaching out to you? Was like the CEO of the company, or maybe like someone that works there, or?
So depend on the company. Like as you see, it's like 7 startups, and I think for all of them, I talked with the CEO. So that was nice. I thought that was very, very positive. It's like, okay, I'm talking. You're valuing my time, just not passing it. I did get like a recommendation from Shopify, but it was a slower process. And I was interviewing with Shopify, but for like Twitter, like to manage their Twitter account. Wow. But at the end, it wasn't very development related, and I also wanted to keep developing software and coding.
Of course.
And I got the offer for my current job, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna pursue that. I also got a message from someone working at Google that also told me, like, because on Google someone can recommend you and you get like priority for the jobs and they get money if they hire you, something like that.
Oh yeah.
So I got like the Google recommendation, but I didn't end up applying to any job. and that expired. But yeah, so I didn't got my job at Google. But yeah, and then some other companies that I interviewed. But yeah, mostly with CEOs. Like from the agency also was the owner. Yeah, and then I interviewed with XSplit, which is like a video broadcasting company, and that was with someone from the team, and more HR, and then with a developer manager. So yeah, like for the bigger companies, it's usually you don't talk with the CEO, but for startups and agencies, founders and CEOs.
It's super cool. And like, was the interview the same as, for example, I understand you did other interviews before you were like known on Twitter. Like, was it the same or was it a bit different because they already knew you and they were pursuing you instead of you pursuing them?
Super different. Like for starters, most of them didn't ask for a CV.
Yeah.
I also got offers like, hey, do you want to manage a team of 10 people? And I was like, I don't have experience to do it. And it's like, oh, I thought you were super senior. It's like, okay, and that's great because okay, you are seeing my Twitter and you're thinking like super senior because of what I share, right?
That's super cool.
And yeah, so I got some offers like that. I was like, no, yeah, I don't feel like I can manage 10 people. But yeah, so I was open to just hear offers and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so but it was crazy in the sense of when you do an interview with a normal company, when you're applying, they're like, oh, this person wants the job. We can negotiate. And for me, it was like, okay, this tweet has 1,500 likes. People know that I'm getting contact. That's crazy. Like you see the responses. There are 30 responses of people just sharing job boards or stuff like that. And then people saying, hey, I DM'd you or something like that. So it was, people knew that I was being contacted. So it's like, okay, if you want me, you have to give me a good offer. You have to sell me your company, because if not,
you had the negotiation power, no, at the end, because you can always say, I mean, I have 10 offers like yours, so you better pay me, I don't know, 10% more or something like that.
Yeah, and also it started getting crazy with the offers and the salaries, and it's like, because my mind was like, I was earning like a Spain salary, but then I started getting offers from German companies, US companies.
Yeah. So it's not the same.
It's not the same. So yeah, and then it's like, oh, I didn't know I could get this much, and then it kept growing, and it's like, okay, now I have this negotiation power. But it was not only the money, right? Because it was like, okay, this startup says something else to me. I like the energy of the CEO. I like this and that. And at the end, it was like, what? And I said this on the tweet, and the looking for job afterwards tweet, that I joined my current company because I like what they're doing, which is like building out for React and Next.js, which is like, okay, I'm using this. I'm using React and Next.js. Mm-hmm. I tried the app. I thought it was really cool because it's super easy to set up compared to Firebase. If any of you have tried Firebase in the past, it's just like it's very hard to doing some spam. Like the company is called Claire.dev. If you want to join, if you want to check it out. But yeah, and one interesting thing, and that's and also they offer me a salary in Spain through a company called Deal instead of like a contractor, which other companies were offering. And that worked better for me because I just get like a permanent contract, so I can just buy a house if I want because I have that as a hey, I'm getting money every month, stuff like that. Yeah. And also one interesting thing that happened is, like, as you see, I was looking for a job as a front-end developer, but then actually I got a job as a developer advocate, which I hadn't thought possible, right? Because I didn't even know much about the position. But then when I started researching more, I was like, okay, this is perfect for me. So a developer advocate is just the middle ground between a community manager, something like that, and a software developer, a software engineer. So I do both, basically. So I manage the reaching out to people to try out the app. Also, I was building a starting template for the project. I built a blog for the company, so I built posts.
So you're like the face, so to say, of the company, like public, but at the same time you know a lot about the product and you know how to develop, and you are participating on that. So that's so for example, really I built the position.
I built the blog for the company. It was like a Ghost headless CMS with Next.js. So, and then I wrote a blog. So it was just both parts, right? So then one other big part is like, okay, if conference open up again, so I can go to conference to talk about stuff and something like that. So yeah, I like that being that middle ground of like, okay, let me think of ways of just growing the brand, make people know about the product. I don't know, just like we're doing like. I reached to you on YouTube, and he's gonna make a video about the product. And then I was like, okay, let me see how worth it is to make sponsored newsletters, and then just do a research about all the newsletters related to React and stuff like that. Okay, how worth it is this for the budget for so all that, and it's very different, right? So, and then from other parties, like, okay, I'm just building an app with the software to try to see where it fails, when it has a bad developer experience, so we can fix it. So it has those two parts. So that's why I like it a lot.
Yeah, it sounds super cool because I mean, it sounds like it has like this public part of the job, and probably having 12K followers on Twitter really helps a lot, because when you're doing reaching out, I mean, people will listen to you more if you have 12K than you have 100. I mean,
when I posted the looking for job tweet, I had 8K. But yeah, this was like 2 months ago.
That's super good. So I mean, here I had just a screenshot of the tweet. I mean, I could have shown that before, but as you can see here, like the impression is crazy, but this is the number for me that makes it. Is the profile clicks. 4,000 profile clicks. That's a lot.
That's crazy.
A lot of people checking who you are, like you know, and if that's a funnel, so it's 4,000 people, a bit less, but I don't know how many DMs you have got, but I don't know. You know, it's just like
I don't know, maybe like 30, 40 DMs total.
I mean, and that's 30, 40 people that at least are interested on hiring you. So, and it's all because they have seen your Twitter profile, the content you are putting out, and nobody, at least, I mean, until they get the interview, they are not asking for your CV. So they are just
some people say,
trusting you.
Send me your CV before the interview, something like that. But for example, for the CEO of my company, he sent me their careers page, and he said, hey, we have front-end engineer position and developer advocate position, and he said, hey, maybe you're interested in one or the other, or a combination of both, and if you are, don't apply, tell me, and we'll set up an interview.
Yeah,
so I thought it was
that's
great.
how it's done.
And that was on Thursday, and then we set up an interview for Monday. It was very fast. So I posted it on Wednesday. He contacted me on Thursday. We set it up for Monday next week. We had a second interview with the other founder and the founding engineer on Tuesday, so next day. And then they told me, hey, have you tried the app? And I was like, no, I haven't, because I've been swamped doing interviews, so I haven't had time to just even try the product. I've seen what it does, but I haven't tried it out. And he said, okay, try it out. Tell me what you think. So that was Tuesday. On Wednesday, I sent them a feedback page. Okay, this is everything that I like. This is everything that it's not working correctly, and they really like it. And on Thursday, they gave me an offer, and then I started the next Tuesday. So it was just super. So less than 2 weeks after.
I mean,
after
in less than 2 weeks,
tweet, I started a job.
From a tweet to a job in less than 2 weeks. So I mean, what else can you ask? Crazy, right? I mean, it just shows you the power of Twitter. You know, like being consistent on Twitter and showcasing your skills. I mean, it doesn't need to be that you want to be a content creator. I mean, you can also look for a 9-to-5 job or like a more regular job, just by showing your skills in public. So it works for both.
Yeah, I also got my freelance client from Twitter, like not one, like two. So yeah, that happened too. It's like one was like I help him with Twitter, with Selwyn. He said, hey, I need some help with Selwyn, with this and that. And you need to do this, you need to do that. And then he was like, hey, do you want to do something for me? I need help with Selwyn. So we did like a small freelance job there. And then I got another one that wanted me to write an article, and it's something that that is not done yet, but it will be like by the end of the month, something like that. So it's like, hey, are you interested in writing an article? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I also got that other, and cool. And also from the same post looking for job tweet, I also got another freelance thing that's also in the middle. So I also kind of got more just as more than just a job, because I also just some freelance stuff.
That's super cool. Like we're gonna jump out to the last part of the tweets that I had, because it's already 6. So I understand there are some people that maybe they have stuff to do.
Yeah,
And
sorry,
even you, Nacho, I don't know if you have something to do after this, but
no, today is my chill day. So I train and I do indoor climbing like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are more chill.
Cool. No, I just wanted to talk about the content creation process. I have found some tweets where you talk about it. So I mean, it's quite simple at the end. So it's just my secret to writing. You say here is think about what you would like to read when you started coding, like like the Nacho from 1 year ago or from 10 years ago, and write about it. So basically, that's the strategy, and I think it's great strategy, especially if you are talking about topics like development, stuff like that. So. I don't know if you want to say something about that. And then the second one is just I understand this is your Twitter recipe, so to say. So post good content for free, engage with people, help people, and be consistent. So I mean, nothing I would add. It's perfect for me.
Yeah, so I don't know, for me, one of the most important things that you can do when you're starting out, especially when you have less than 1,000 followers, is just like engaging. And what I say is like I reached to Simon and I sent him my tweet, and I had this happen to me. Like there's a guy that I'm sure it will be super interesting to you. Like you like analyzing people. So he got 5,000 followers on his first month on Twitter. Wow. So he created an account in 1 month, 5,000 followers, and it was crazy. _J Moyer.
I will take a look. Interesting.
So this guy posts like infographics about coding, and when he had 300 followers, like after 2 days on Twitter, he sent me a DM like, "Hey, look at this. What do you think?" And I was like, "This is super great. This is super good." And we had a call, and I was like, "Yeah, keep doing it because you're doing great and you're creating amazing stuff." And yeah, he kept doing it, and yeah, he's like a 5,000 or 6,000, right? Something like that. And he's been posting for 2 months. So
nice.
So yeah, and he did the same thing. Like he sent me a thread. I like it. I follow him. I talk with him. We had a call. So just because he just did the first step and just talked to me, right? And I have people doing the same, like because people engage. If you engage with my content and you comment on my tweets, I'm just gonna be more. Yeah. Sometimes I cannot answer to everyone. If I get 50 responses, I'm gonna just answer to the people that I'm seeing more and more, very very commonly on my posts, right? So, and then if you say something that's very valuable or you challenge me or like, oh, what about this other thing? I say, oh, you're right. So I share icon packs, and someone said, hey, but what about this? It's like, yeah, that's also cool, but yeah, it's less. If you go to someone and say, good job, it's like, yeah, thank you, but I cannot say more than that, right? But if you have insight, if you say, for example, one example I shared the other day too, it's like I did a thread on async await callbacks and promises, right? So this was a thread that I got like 10, like at the start, like in December, I got like 10 likes, something like that. But then Simon share a tweet about the same topic, and I responded, hey, I wrote about this the other day too. I shared my tweet, and then that tweet got like 3,000 impressions. My tweet got 5,000 new impressions thanks to people coming down from that tweet, and it got like 50 likes more. So that was a very good source of followers and engagement. But that's because it was very relevant, and I added something else to the tweet. If I go to a random Simon tweet talking about Python, Python, but yeah, something else, and I say, check my async await thread. People are like, you're spamming, but it was relevant and it was insightful. So anytime you can add something relevant and insightful without being spammy, I think it's good to do it.
For me, is that just try to add value in any form, and if adding value means sharing your content, it's not spam because you're adding value. So it's 100% what you did with Simon, what you said. So, and what this other guy that got the 5,000 followers did is the same. It's just shared it with you because, hey, I think this is cool. Take a look.
Yeah.
And then you start talking to him and you become friends.
And I understand. I mean, it can be either to, hey, what do you think? Or, hey, you are a big account, check me out. And for me with Simon was more like the first thing, like I wanted to know if it was good. But even if you do it like, hey, I just want your specific look, and if you like it and you give me a like, I'm just gonna get more engagement. But if it's not spammy, I think it works. I mean, don't share everything, like just copy paste to all the big accounts, because you're not gonna get you can get some engagement like that. But yeah, just being genuine. I think it's and just be nice, because people, I just have seen from the looking for a job tweet, I just asked for retweets, and it was my most retweeted tweet ever with 700 retweets. So it's like, people, when you're nice, and I try to be nice on Twitter, like just people respond and they do the same thing, right? And then just decide to share it because, like, oh, Nacho helped me in the past, giving me this tip. Now I'm gonna help him, right? If
you ask for retweets every day, probably nobody will retweet that. But you never ask for retweets, so you're always giving. So the one time you ask is when people respond, because it's just how it works.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I don't know if I have something else. I think this is the last tweet I have.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to remark again, we talked about this at the beginning, but as you said here in this tweet, and this is from March 26, so I understand that now it's even more probably.
Yeah, I haven't broken.
So it's a 100-day streak in March. So right now it has to be, I don't know what, 150, something like that. And yeah, some days as you say here, some days you get 0 followers, some days you get 400. But the key, the one thing that you are doing every day is showing up. So I think that's the key.
Yeah, no, I mean, you never know which tweet is gonna work. That's something that you have to keep in mind. And you can say, hey, I have worked on this tweet for 2 hours. It's an amazing tweet, and then it's got 3 likes, and then you want like, okay, I'm gonna delete my Twitter account, and that happens. And then I posted a tweet like, the best skill you can have as a developer, how to Google, and then 2,000 likes, and it's like, okay, it's I don't know, and it happens. But yeah, you never know. And there are some tweets that even if and that's something important, there are some tweets that even if they got 2,000 likes, they are not gonna bring you valuable followers, because people are gonna say, hey, true, like, or gonna say, or if you post something funny, like, oh, haha, like, but they're not gonna check you out because you haven't shared something personal, right? So for example, I remember sharing a tweet, I got like 200, 300 likes, which is like, as I explained that I quit JavaScript twice before learning it for real, right? And that's something, and that was like a motivational tweet, but also I was sharing my own story, because that's true. I tried JavaScript, and then I when I got to loops, I was like, oh, I don't know how to do this. And I went to do another thing, and then try again. It happened the same thing. And the third time I tried out, that's when I started. I understood it, and I kept pushing through, right? So it was just a motivation, because just push a little bit, and it's gonna be harder. JavaScript is a very big difficulty step compared to HTML and CSS. But if you push through, it becomes easier with time. So yeah, but that tweet, I was sharing my own story, and with 300 likes, I got more profile clicks than the 2,000 like tweet, because that was a generic tweet, right?
Yeah, at the end we are building. I mean, in the case you and I and most people here probably, we are building personal brands. So a personal brand needs to be personal, and it needs to have parts of you on that. So it makes a lot of sense that the tweet that you are sharing something about yourself is the one that gets more followers, because if people want to follow you, because it has to be like, I don't know, thousands of people that talk about React and stuff like that, but Nacho is the only one that is doing it as Nacho, because there is only one Nacho. So so yeah, I think we don't have anything else. Like for me, I don't have any more tweets, but if anyone in the audience wants to ask something to Nacho, and if Nacho wants to answer, then now is the time. You can jump in the chat if you want, guys, or just here. Or you're here in the video if you want to ask. So now is the time.
Nacho, I got a question for you, mate. I noticed there you were talking about Tumblr and the journey that you've taken onto Twitter there. It really feels like you've learned that, and perhaps it's more of a statement, but it's something that I would hope that you're reflecting upon, because it sounds like quite a journey. You were posting relatability content when you're doing those reposts or reblogs and whatever on Tumblr. And then you were seeing what attention does with the Facebook pages and whatnot on Facebook. And it really seems that you've come right up to the other end of that. And you're saying, do you know what actually makes a world of a difference? its value and vulnerability in connecting with people. Would that be an accurate portrayal of the journey?
Yeah, okay, that's some. So the thing about Tumblr, my Tumblr was very personal. Okay, so and with Facebook was very generic. Facebook was like a cash cow, right? So that was basically it for me. But for Tumblr, it was very personal. I used to put my face there, so it's like, hey, this is me. And I used to retweet reblog stuff like I love Pokemon a lot. And it's like, okay, you just have a Charizard tweet because that's what I see now and I like it, even if it's not comedy. It's like, so it was very personal and people knew me. I mean, the blog was called, yes, I say it was called Peeling Bananas. So my name was like Mr. Banana. So it was, yeah, I have my personality there. So and that also I think helped a lot with the success. And I remember some days I was like, I put a chat on the Tumblr, and some days I would just say, hey, come to the chat. Just post a post like say come to the chat, and I would get like 10, 20, 30 people, and I would just sit there at night and just chat with people that follow me. And I remember it being super fun and doing that. So yeah, it was very personal, but yeah, I think the more you share your personality and your vulnerabilities, and hey, I failed here, but then I succeeded, or hey, I've been trying this and this is not working. So just win your wins and your losses. I think it's good, and I understand that there are some people that they're just gonna follow you because hey, I just want your JavaScript tips, and it's like, okay, yeah, but you can just find JavaScript tips if you search them on Google. Let me just share my JavaScript tips, but let me put it on my own way. Let me just do something. And then, or for example, I posted tweets about my yoga journey because I've been doing yoga for 2 months now, every day. So it's like, hey, and I talk about this. Hey, do yoga. I think it's good because it's good for your health, and being with health, it's also good for developers. Or talking about my new standing desk, which is I'm using right now. I'm standing right now. It's like, oh, this is good because I can be on the computer, I can do stuff, but I can be standing, and it's better for your health to not be sitting 8 hours a day. So all the stuff that is not completely programming or coding related, I also like to talk about it because they're part of me. And at the end, you're following me. And if you don't like it, okay, you can follow something else or just look for JavaScript tips on Google. But I think that's talking about yourself. It becomes easier the more followers you get. If you start talking about yourself when you start, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to get new followers, because if you have 300 followers and someone comes to your account, hey, is this person worth following? And they see, hey, this is my NFL team lost. Hey, I'm watching the MMA box fight tonight. Hey, I did JavaScript today, and it's very convoluted. People are gonna say, hey, I'm not interested in that because it's just talking about many things, right?
Would you have a percentage in your head, if this is a bit of a follow-up question to that? Just broadly, if you were estimating, would you have a percentage there as maybe it's 20% of your personal life and your recent yoga journey, 80% towards development? Or is it quite as you see fit?
I try to everything to be related. So if I'm talking about meditation or yoga or this, everything can be tied to this makes you a better developer because it makes you healthier. I mean, I haven't talked about, I don't know. I think once I talk about stocks with the whole GME race, and that's kind of maybe more related, but yeah, all kind of ties up with the journey as a developer. So yeah, layering. Maybe it's like a 95% the coding related, but I try to put as much as my own brand as possible, right? And talk about me, and if I share something, it's like, I don't know, a good example that I haven't done, but imagine I talk about loops, and I can just talk about loops, and I can say, hey, this is how to do a loop, and take a look at these parts because I remember this was very hard for me, and that's just making it more personal, right? I don't know.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was a great answer. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else wants to ask something. For me, I'm going to ask like the super typical question that people ask. And it's if today, you know, like if you were to start over today, I mean, you were at 0 5 months ago, but you know, if today Twitter closes your account what would you do? Would you do it again? And if so, like, what would you do a bit differently that, probably to grow even faster or something like that?
Oh, I don't like thinking about it, and I super scared because I had an 5-year-old account, 5-year-old password on the account, and and it got breached, and someone tried to enter my account like 2 weeks ago, and it
I remember.
And it didn't happen because I have 2FA. So I reflected on this, like, oh, I could have, if I didn't set up 2FA 5 years ago too, when I would have lost my account and I would have lost everything. And the bad thing that I have right now is I haven't breached from Twitter. So I've been meaning to start blogging and YouTube maybe, and I haven't yet. So it's like my only connection to people is like Twitter. So if I have to start again and just saying something like, Twitter closed my account, I have to start again, I know I will get like, I don't know, 300 to 500 followers in the first couple of days because people know me, and I will try to do the same thing. Hey, retweet as much as possible so people know I'm back. And maybe this will get me like, I don't know, to 2,000 or something like that. But then I don't know. I don't think I would change anything because
it's working.
Yeah, I mean, because you put the question as myself with my current followers doing a new account, but I already exist. If you tell me a different question, will be like, what will be my recommendation for someone starting out? My answer will be different, of course. But yeah, for example, I get people saying, hey, I don't know what to share because I'm just learning, and that happens a lot, right? Okay, if I'm just learning to code, what can I even share? And one thing that I say is like, when you're starting out, you know what struggles a person starting out has, and for me, it's like, okay, I don't remember what it was like to struggle with HTML because I haven't done that in a while, right? But there's I'm sure there are some things that can be confusing at the start, right? So if you're just learning HTML, which is like the first step, and you struggle with something, I don't know, the meta tags, something that can be confusing. So just make a tweet, make a blog post, share, talk about it, because first it's gonna, and then just do it in the sense of, hey, if in 3 months or in 6 months I forget, I have my own resource to go back, because you're your best teacher. You're the person that can teach yourself the best because you know your way, right? So just write it out, and then this will help you because you are gonna forget stuff, and then having your resources to go back is good. But also people in the same spot as you, or people that are gonna learn the same thing in the future, can go and find your resource, and this also can get you some followers. And there's and I put the same example the other day, but Sam is here in the audience, and Sam started coding like 6 or 8 months ago, and he just started sharing his journey, and he was super interested because he was like, hey, I don't know anything, now I know JavaScript, now I'm trying React, now I'm trying Next.js, and he was sharing all this journey, and people were interested in that because he knew he was struggling with this and that, and he was sharing what he was struggling with and his solutions to all that stuff. So people got a lot of value from that.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it, because I don't know if you know Derek Sivers is this like author. He writes, and he has this quote that it says, what might be obvious to you can be amazing to others. And I think that applies to everything. So you might be at 1, but there is a lot of people that are going from 0 to 1, or even from 0.5 to 0.6.
Yeah.
So,
and someone at 2 can teach a lot better that person at 1 than someone at 10.
Yeah, because they have it more fresh in their minds and so on. So for me, is that like, even if start from 0, that's worth sharing, because as what you said, just sharing that experience, how you are learning it, from who you are learning it, so on. So yeah, that's a great advice.
There's something this is something called the curse of knowledge, which is that when you know a lot, or you know something for a lot of time, it's like you don't realize and you don't remember how it was like to not know that. So it's like, oh, now a JavaScript loop, oh, that's super easy, just like this, and then I can write it with my eyes closed, but I don't remember what it was like. I mean, I remember, but I like something like struggling, like I didn't even know how it worked. I didn't understand like what was going on, right? And because now it comes easy to me, it doesn't mean it always did, right? And there are some stuff that comes easy to me now, but I couldn't wrap my mind about it before. Like, I don't know. And I can talk about Redux, because Redux, for example, was like the hardest thing that for me to learn ever on my whole journey. And now I understand, I know how everything works, but that was like something that took me like 6 months to completely, or 8 months to completely understand, right? And yeah, so there are stuff that you think, oh, this is, but it's super easy. The data comes from here to here, and that's it. Yeah, okay. But that took you a while, and maybe even me, that it took me 8 months, it came easy to me. And there are some people that it's going to take him 2 years to understand the whole flow, and that can happen. So be respectful and be mindful of that. And there's never a too easy tutorial. I mean, I have a friend, just it's also on Twitter, which is like, it's called Rocco Angelino, and he started doing a blog series on HTML elements, and he got a lot of success with that, because he was like very newbies, core newbies, were checking his HTML basics blog posts, because they were useful for them, because they were just starting HTML. It's like, oh, this is exactly what they needed. And for him, with 15 years of experience, it was like, oh, I didn't know if that was too basic, right? But it wasn't, because some people, they needed that level of basic.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah, you're super right about that. So I don't know if anyone has anything else to say. Otherwise, we are just going to wrap it up, especially because I know people have stuff to do here. So yeah, I don't know. Anyone else? My dog just fell asleep too, so so yeah, guys, thank you, Nacho, for being here, and like for leaving your time and your expertise. I mean, it was super insightful for me. I mean, super cool. Yeah, I think you are like on right now. I feel like you are on a rocket ship. Like I see you growing and growing and growing, and it's not stopping. And even it is, as you said, you didn't post on the last month your best content, so to say. You are still growing. So imagine if you get back like on track.
Yeah.
I think you will be like that 20K, 5K will be, will be short by the end of the year, hopefully. So yeah. Just thank you for being here. And I don't know if you want to say something else, but for me, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I know I speak a lot. I know I speak very fast, so I hope people could understand me and get any value from it. You can, if you don't follow me already on Twitter, my name is @Nacho, which is just my name.
Come on, you don't need more followers, man.
No, but also if you
I'm joking.
Any questions, and maybe, I mean, I know there's some people that maybe they think of a question later. So hey, my DMs are open. Just say, hey, I was on the chat. Can you clarify this or whatever? Just DM. I mean, if you say hi, maybe I won't answer, because I could talk about that for a second there. Like, if you want to message someone and you want to share content, you want to engage or meet someone, don't say hi, because then you're making them put the effort. So just say, hey, I like this, I like that. So for example, I got a message today from a person I follow for a while, like just 8,000 followers, and he was like, hey, I see you're gonna be on this talk. How are you? I see you follow me. And that was and I was like, okay, this is a very nice conversation starter. But if you want to say hi or hey, can you help me? I was like, why? And what do you need from me? So and if you come from me, it's like, hey,
from people,
or I got, hey, can you do my homework? And it's like, no. So I got that before. So yeah, if you are very genuine, it's like, hey, what can I do where can I learn JavaScript? Okay, maybe that's a better question. Or I have this question, or what I said before, I don't know how to do this on Tailwind. Can you help me? Yes, I will help you, because that's a good question, and you're making it easy for me. But if you say hi, or hi, can you be my mentor? What does that even mean? I mean, you want me to put the effort for you. So if you want something from someone, put the effort. Hey, ask a good question. Ask a relevant question, and respect their time. It's like, hey, hello, and if you spam someone when they don't answer you, that doesn't work. But also respect their time, but also follow up. If someone, you ask a question and that person didn't respond in a week, okay, say, hey, have you have time to take this? Because sometimes I get these follow-up questions, and I was like, why didn't I get notified from this message? Because sometimes they get lost. I had it on a tab open. I didn't see it got checked as read. and then I didn't see it. So I appreciate that if I don't answer, that someone follows up, because sometimes I feel bad and I wanted to answer but I forgot, and it gets buried. So yeah, that's like as a last thing. Just
No,
but yeah, what I
that's-
was saying, like, if you want to DM me, just don't say hi, but just say. Just
No,
introduce
that's
yourself or
great.
whatever, and I'm happy to connect with more people.
Always value upfront, because it happens to me too. Like I get DMs and like, hey Alex, can you review my profile? And I'm like, I mean, I don't know you. If you pay me, $100, I can do it.
I mean, at least that.
Just like that.
At least they're asking for something. I mean, that it's still a better introduction to hello.
Yeah, but still,
hello,
it's like,
sir. I have a lot of people calling me sir, and I'm 25. This is bad.
Yeah. That happens to me too, and I'm 26. So yeah. Hello, sir. And I don't look that old, I think. So.
So yeah, it happens.
Okay, super cool. Thank you again, Nacho. And yeah, see you around. I mean, I will be following you closely. Like we are always.
Good luck on your journey to 10K too.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's working. Like, just say on Twitter you want to get to 10K, and people will do the rest. It's kind of working. So yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you. So yeah, I don't know. Thank you all guys for being here. We will be uploading this to YouTube later, probably tomorrow, and we will share the link. We'll share it with Nacho too. You can do whatever you want with that,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is it. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was nice. It was great.
Bye-bye.